This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Before we begin today, we want to start by recognizing the highest of holy days for all of our Jewish viewers. I am Jewish, and I want to let you know it's called Yom Kippur, which is today. It's our holiest of holy days. And what we do is we fast for 24 hours, and we ask for forgiveness for anyone that we might have sinned against or done anything wrong. So I ask forgiveness from you guys, from the audience. If I've done anything, I'd love to atone and ask for forgiveness. And
is there anything that somebody that you would ask for forgiveness would say back?
They can say no. You have to be, the whole idea of Judaism is that this is the day in which you ask for forgiveness. It's up to them whether they say, I accept or not, but you selflessly and with humility have to say, I'm fasting for that kind of pain, and to say, I'm sorry, and if you don't forgive me, I've at least given you that.
Okay.
So today is the holiest of days, and I hope everyone who is celebrating it has an easy fast, is what we say. All right, now let's get started, because after 146 days and a weekend of marathon negotiations, the Writers Guild of America has reached a tentative deal with studios that could finally put an end to the writers' strike. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, the deal is reported to include higher residuals from streaming services, higher wages for writers, and protection against AI. So what does this mean for your favorite shows and for your favorite movies? Well, we could see late night shows and daytime talk shows starting back up as soon as next week. Meantime, 150,000 actors are still on strike. Al, what do you think about this all? And what do you think about, did people miss late night? Did you feel like you missed late night?
I feel like late night people they're like people that only eat Thai food. It's a very specific group of people. I'm part of that group of people.
I get you.
But
okay.
Some people are unaware. They're like, look, I'm Wendy's, KFC. But some people are like, every Tuesday and Thursday, that's what me and my partner get. I think that's what late night is. It's a niche audience, but it's loyal. Some people go to sleep with those shows on in half of the last 30 years, where other people are like, I'm in bed by 9, don't know who Jimmy Fallon really is.
Yeah, I miss your analogies over the weekend, but
hey,
I never know where you're going.
Late night is like Thai food.
But I do like some good Thai food.
There you
I am
go.
a Thai food fan. There's a lot of things here, and we don't have specifics yet, right? I'm glad it's wrapping up. A lot of these things need to be cleared up. The AI, the streaming services, all that needed to be clear up. I don't care what side you're on. That needed to be cleared up. So my one issue is, I understand it's a writer's strike, but when you're in a creative process, it's kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen type of deal. And I heard that some of these writers were on these specific shows because you have to represent a certain number of writers that are in the union, right? And I understand if you're a writer, you want to be unionized. You want these benefits. But as someone who likes the creative process, if you're jamming union writers down a show's throat, and it was 2 or 3, and I was hearing that it might be 10, that's why I want to wait for the details, that's a different ballgame. And when you're trying to create a show, or you created a show, and you're like, hey, I just need a couple examples, and people feel like they're not being heard, and you're getting jammed down your throat, that stunts the creative process, just in my opinion. But a lot of good has come out of this, but they also lost the studios around $6 billion.
Yeah, talk about putting your nose out to spite your face, or cutting off your nose or something.
No, I think it's putting it off.
Yeah, putting
off your nose.
Putting your nose out there is on a windy day.
I agree. I think
I'm glad Jeff made that point.
Me too.
It's a big deal.
I wonder if this helps. They might be adding more episodes to make the residual streaming seasons longer because there are so many writers. Would that help even that out for you, or do you still feel like there's too many?
I feel like I put my nose out there.
You put your nose out there. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of strikes, the United Auto Workers Union is also on the picket lines. On Friday, they expanded their strike from the original 3 plants, and now the union has shut down all parts manufacturing sites for GM and Stellantis, the parent company for Chrysler. So now that includes 38 parts and distribution centers spread now across 20 different states. But they did not expand their strike against Ford because talks with that company are reportedly progressing. Now, the auto workers are asking for an immediate 20% raise and a total of 40% wage hikes over the 4-year contract. What do you think of the summer of strikes? It really has been the summer of labor unions. I imagined when I first saw Chris Smalls, that guy from, I believe, New York, Brooklyn, or the Bronx, start an Amazon labor. Remember this?
Yes.
To start the first labor union as an Amazon warehouse, and he has sparked a movement, and we're really seeing solidarity that hasn't been matched since the 70s-ish.
Right.
What do you think about this?
I mean, unions, and I feel like because of social media, unions have been much better able to get their message out, Jeff.
Yeah,
because
that's
before it was just, the rich guys, the fat cats, as they used to be called, or called. They could tell the newspaper they're being outrageous, and if the newspaper reports that, that's what the public would think about, hardworking folks like this. But now their message is out there like, these are our demands. They're pretty reasonable. And now I think it's put a lot of the big guys on their back foot.
Yeah.
We just covered in our first story that, it looks like the networks are capitulating a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do like to see, I don't even say it's the little guy, because a union, a bunch of little guys turn into a big guy too, and now we can now we're the same weight class. So what's up?
Yeah, I like it, just because, for the simple fact that these multi-billionaires are just making money hand over fist. And it's like and I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money or who gets what, but I just think Bezos and Amazon, right? You hear those rumors out there, and I don't even know if they're true, about workers going to the bathroom under the table because they don't get any breaks.
Right.
Fainting because it's so hot. I don't know if those are true. So I don't know if that's real.
I've heard enough of them where one of them got to be true.
Right, and at the same time, Bezos made $500 billion last year. It's like, give a little of that back. And especially if you're unionizing because you just want to make a livable wage, don't you want to be a cooler billionaire than just a multi, like on the top 10 list? Like, wouldn't you want to be like, hey, I work for Jeff Bezos and I'm proud of that.
That's
I work for Amazon and I get my summers off, or whatever it is.
Like UPS,
cool.
almost
right?
like that.
Yeah, like something like that.
Yes, you want to be the good billionaire, not the villain billionaire.
But that's the problem, Tori. The people that become billionaires aren't wired like that. If you had that kind of money, you would be giving out 100% of it because you would feel so gross with it. When you hear about somebody like Warren Buffett, who's beloved this big, that's borderline, I feel like, very strange that somebody who famously still lives in his house and eats hamburgers and regular ice cream still feels the need to hoard all that money.
Yeah.
It's at some point when the money's not being spent or being doled out, you're hoarding it. No different than some people hoard dolls or baseball clothes. I think there is a compulsion with some people to have a gross amount of money. There's something internally interesting about them.
Yeah.
And we have to help them with their medical condition and help them give that money out.
Yeah.
And nobody that's earned that kind of money has done it on their own. That's on the backs of hundreds of thousands of people every day.
That's
that
very
ain't just you, dog.
Yeah, and speaking of writers, thank God they're coming back, because the show Baseball Clothes Hoarders is going to be coming out this fall.
Too many.
I pitched it to, I was escorted out by security.
Hoarding
By the way,
clothes.
also,
I don't know if anybody heard that. It just
I meant to say cards and clothes.
By the way, we'll tell you, Biden will be joining the picket line. For the first time a sitting president will ever be on a picket line for the United Auto Workers. But Trump will also be there speaking to the United Auto Workers. So think of this
But he's not going to be on the picket line.
No, but he's speaking about it. And think about this as a voting bloc. Both candidates are looking forward to taking interesting.
He'll be on the roof like U2 when they perform in downtown L.A. He's like, I ain't getting down there with the proletariat.
I think it's smart of Trump.
Trump is famously a baseball clothes holder.
He loves those baseball jerseys.
Is that called a uniform? No, it's their clothes.
Coming up on DBL, a woman shares how she overcame the trauma of being kidnapped by her mentally ill mother, how she's now helping other women live bravely. And Taylor Swift becomes the talk of Sunday Night Football after showing up to cheer on just Travis Kelce. Are they officially a couple?
Oh, Destiny, thank you so much. That was quick.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
What's that?
Like, just creeping up over here. I didn't even see you.
Fact for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Your lights though. Why are your lights on?
Oh, because Sar wasn't feeling good this morning. So, yeah, but like, my house. Everybody makes fun.
It's hot?
My house.
Okay, ready?
Thank you.
Yeah, what's up with your house is hot.
Because Sar likes it hot.
Wait, how hot is hot?
It's pretty hot.
Wait,
It's
I mean,
like
like
stuffy now.
75
Like,
or
you
80?
noticeably, man, it's hot in here.
Like you're in a terrarium,
Like,
kind of.
yes. It feels
Really?
Like it's like,
You're in a botanical garden.
Yeah, it's.
You should grow some plants in there, because
That's
it's a
how
great
this house
environment.
is,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Al, your house is humid?
It's like stuffy. I told her yesterday it's like the DMV. Right before it closes, when they close the doors, like nobody else can come in today. And
No,
Yeah.
you know what it's like? You know when you're at the zoo and then you get to the Amazon part and it's a little bit warmer? Yeah.
I don't like when you go from outside to inside because you know it's going to be some kind of weird animal funk.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
going with
oh,
a
yeah.
monkey
It is a
thing.
power He also leaves all his lights on and it really bothers me.
Oh, No, but they're LED lights. My lights are always like
So
low.
it's not money.
Okay.
LED lights are incredible.
So now we know he has a stuffy, musty LED house filled with orchids.
Wow, you just added musty.
He said it was stuffy.
You said musty?
Oh, musty and stuffy aren't
I'm
synonyms.
sorry you said that.
No, I thought those were synonyms.
Hot and musty is different than just
Musty
hot.
and stuffy, not hot.
You
Stuff-
said musty.
He said stuffy.
Musty is like an old sock.
Yeah.
What is stuffy?
Stuffy is just it's hot in here.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Stuffy.
no. Hot in here and stuffy are two different things.
No. Musty's an insult.
Okay, I take that back. Absolutely, I meant stuffy.
It already went out on the internet.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
hot and stuffy
They're
are
gonna
very
cut out
different.
that part. They're just gonna put-
Humid, musty, smelly.
Yeah, musty, smelly.
Musty, smelly. Like,
Hot and stuff.
Welcome back to DBL. Taylor Swift fans lost their minds during yesterday's game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. But it had nothing. But it had nothing to do with football. Taylor was at the game and was spotted in a suite sitting next to Travis Kelce's mama. This after Travis extended an open invite for Taylor to watch him at Arrowhead Stadium. Now, Taylor was caught later on camera looking very excited after Travis scored a touchdown. The two were then spotted leaving the stadium after the game. A fan caught them driving off in Travis's vintage convertible. And get this, even Travis's team is in on the fun. Patrick Mahomes said he felt pressure from Swifties to throw Travis a touchdown pass. And during a post-game interview, Coach Andy Reid joked that he set the couple up. You guys like football? Do you like this?
Listen, I got to tell you, I'm happy we're talking about football.
Okay,
I'm
talk
not
to me.
happy with the Chicago Bears at all this
What
season.
happened? Did they lose?
I don't want to talk
I'm
about
so
it. I'm really.
sorry.
It's like politics now, talking about the
Very
Chicago Bears.
sad.
I hate
It's
it.
worse than politics.
Oh,
And
really?
listen, we live in Denver too. It's like double.
Yeah, it was a rough
football
weekend.
season's over. I went to the Avs game this weekend.
Oh,
I'm on
wow.
the hockey season.
Hockey.
But let's get back to the famous couple. By the way, Walter Payton's son, who is my idol,
Yes.
Walter Payton growing up.
Shout out Sweetness.
That was who got that shot. He's a reporter for 9 News back in or WGN News back
In
in
Chicago.
Yeah, and he got that shot. And he goes,
That's
It was
crazy.
great timing.
That is
so he
amazing.
just popped that out.
'Cause
So
that
I
was
followed.
everywhere.
Yeah, that was everywhere. But I mean, everyone's in on the fun. Patrick Mahomes is like, man, that was being sarcastic for people who don't watch football. He's like, I felt some pressure up there, but I like the couple. I'm happy for him. I'm not really that much of a Swiftie, but if she gets into the football world, it makes me like you a little bit more.
Okay. Does it remind you at all of Jessica Simpson and the famous Tony Romo, where they thought the curse of the lady friend?
Well, not yesterday because they smashed the Chicago
Oh,
Bears.
oh, I thought you were going to end right there. Okay. Go ahead, Al.
I mean, look, I like football.
I'm sorry?
I like football.
And?
I like football. My friends and I are just old black dudes. We get on speakerphone. We try and call out coverages. We question decisions. We wonder where certain teams are doing, and there's not a lot of that when there's other things being shown on the screen. So, I mean, I'm glad that just like everybody's, I keep trying to withdraw from the world and just enjoy a few things. Can I have just a few things? My kids' football, basketball season, but I can't because here comes pop culture. And hey, I got to be with it. Otherwise, I'll be canceled. So, guys, I can tell you on behalf of real, true football fans like Jeff and I that are texting back and forth, and my friends that have been following the game for 30 years, my homies from Cleveland, we can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, you're really into
excited.
it. I really believe that. I also want to give you guys a quick look. This could be somewhat choreographed. Now, the outfit that Walter Payton's son got, I wish I knew his name, excuse me. He showed, if we can show that clip again of them walking together, that is a suit that's the 1989 bedroom painting set suit on kidsuperstudios.com. So Travis Kelce was wearing the 1989 suit. If we can
That's what Jeff and I were texting about.
I'm sure that's what.
Jeff,
okay.
Yeah, it was. We put it up kind of quickly, but if it's basically the background from Canva. It's a Canva background. So you just take that, you put the picture of Travis in there, and then you can just link up.
Oh.
This is all
Is this
very
all choreographed
simplistic.
then?
I'm not really interested in any of this.
Okay, because
Yeah,
there it is.
just-
Here is
okay.
the outfit. It's called the 1989. Now, her 1989 new Taylor version's coming out. Her video for the concert's coming out. Is this all publicity?
That's like, it's like what the cool guy would wear to a club outside of Tampa Bay in 1997. You're like, okay, we get it. You're the big dealer in town. That is a ridiculous outfit. He would only wear it because he feels pressure. This is so embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you embarrassed?
No, I'm here for the love.
Everybody.
No, because you know what?
I
She's cheer
keep trying
captain.
to go away.
No, she's cheer captain and she's on the bleachers,
If I
and
could
that's awesome. We'll be right back. Show Al. He's very upset.
I'm
We'll be right
happy.
back.
Please don't cancel me.
A viewer asked us about something you might relate to. She said she needed to see an endocrinologist. Those are the doctors that treat diabetes, obesity, thyroid conditions, osteoporosis, and more. But every office she called, from the DMV all the way to Delaware, said they were booked until next spring. So she asked our Verify team if there's a shortage of endocrinologists. Our sources are a pair of scientific studies, the Association of American Medical Colleges, and Dr. Sethu Reddy, who leads the American Association of Clinical Endocrinology. Researchers estimate that America needs roughly 2,000 more endocrinologists, but they think the shortage will keep growing because of rising rates of obesity and diabetes, as well as an aging population. All of that creates additional demand. Dr. Reddy says some of his colleagues aren't in the clinic full-time, and others focus on one aspect of the field.
You may have physician handling thyroid primarily, or diabetes, or pituitary or adrenal disease.
So we can verify that, yes, there is a shortage of endocrinologists. But they're not the only ones that are hard to find. The Association of American Medical Colleges says the U.S. could be short as many as 124,000 doctors of all kinds by the mid-2030s.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, we spoke with Eliza Van Court, who has transformed trauma into strength after being repeatedly kidnapped as a child by her mother. Here's her story.
Eliza was just 3 years old when she was kidnapped by her schizophrenic mother.
I went to Texas with her. Some guy called my father and said, "Mr. Van Court, your daughter's here, and your wife's not okay, and you need to come get her."
Less than 2 years later, Eliza was kidnapped again, but this time it was more than 2,600 miles away from home.
And the next thing I know, we're running across the park, and I'm getting lifted off the ground, and there's a cab waiting for us. But then we met somebody at some sort of stop, and he took us part of the way to California, and it was terrifying. There was a national APB on my mother, and a police car came behind us, and my mother said, "Eliza, hide." So I hid down in the passenger seat, and a cop came over and looked at her, asked her some questions, and then put his flashlight down, and I just saw the look of utter shock on his face.
Eliza's mother lied to authorities and said her father was abusing her.
So I ended up in foster care in Oakland, California, and that was a really powerful part of my life that probably informed the rest of my life.
After decades of breaking down her trauma, she is now guiding women to be brave and to be heard.
When really bad things happen to you, they can break you, or you can use them as an opportunity to make the world better.
To tell us more about her childhood, please welcome back Eliza Van Court. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me back. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Eliza, after your first kidnapping, I want to just jump in. Why did your father allow another unsupervised visit with your mother?
Well, my mom took me to a park with nothing in her pockets. I think she had $10. I had nothing, and my father thought there's no way she can just take off with nothing, but somehow she managed to pull it off.
Wow.
All right, I hope I have this timeline right. You were just 4 years old when you were taken to California. What were some of your memories? Do you remember that when you were 4?
I don't remember much, but I have some pretty powerful memories. I mean, some of them are kind of comical. I remember walking through a store, and I said to my mom, I like those earrings. And my mom somehow got this big coat, brought us back in, and shoved, this was before you had the little alarms, shoved an entire rack of earrings underneath my little coat and took me out, took me home, and she's like, all the earrings, you get all the earrings. So, you know, there were things like that. But then I also remember when we were hitchhiking across the country by truck, and it was raining, and she wanted to get me out of the rain. And so she walked up to a truck driver. The next thing I know, we're sitting in the front of the truck, and she says, whatever you do, don't turn around. Wow. And I heard her be assaulted in the back of the truck. And so, you know, on some levels she did it to protect me, but on other levels it was horrifically traumatizing.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Did you ever resent your mother, and is she still in your life today?
Well, you know, I was a teenager, so of course I hated my mother because usually teenagers don't really like their parents. And mine was sort of don't like your mom on steroids. But as I got older, I realized that she did the best she could. She was just so sick. And unfortunately, she's not in my life anymore because she's a missing person. And she has been for 20 years. Last time I saw her was literally 20 years ago.
Wow.
I just, you know, we look at you now and you're this fully formed adult, but I think about the early childhood years. They're so important just to your overall growth. So was there an individual that helped you process all this trauma?
Well, I mean, first of all, my dad got me a lot of therapy. I'm probably one of the most therapized people on the planet, so that was quite helpful. But the other thing was that I had a big sister in the Big Sister, Big Brother program. Her name was Alice Green. She's still in my life today. When she first met me, I was hiding behind a curtain of hair, and she wanted to do all these things, and I said, I just want to color. And she sat on the floor and colored with me for hours. I still remember it. And, you know, she was the person who taught me meet people where they are.
I was a Big Brother for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How have you taken this traumatic event and transformed it into a way to teach others confidence?
Well, I really believe that bad things happen to all of us. And the question is, are you going to use it to make the world a better place, or are you going to let it crush you? And I decided that it would be meaningless suffering if I didn't figure out how to use it to make the world better. So I wrote my book, A Woman's Guide to Claiming Space, because I spent so much time trying to be invisible. And when I learned how to claim my space, I wanted to teach other women to do that as well, because it was so transformative for me.
Wow. You are a remarkable human being,
and
Eliza.
Living proof you can do it.
Living proof, exactly. Eliza, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. DBL Nation, to learn more about Eliza and her lessons on confidence, grab her book, A Woman's Guide to Claiming Space. You can also visit her website at elizavancourt.com for more. Thank you again, Eliza. Thank you for your powerful testimony. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Wow.
Getting your flu shot is a super important step in ensuring you stay healthy during the winter, but WCNC Charlotte viewer Harper E. said they were told if they received a cornea transplant, they shouldn't get the vaccine. They wrote to us, they said, over 20 years ago, I had a cornea transplant. About 7 to 8 years ago, I was told that taking the flu shot could cause a rejection of my cornea transplant. Is this true or false? Let's get the facts. Our sources are Lee Wiley, MD, ophthalmologist at Charlotte Eyes, Ear, Nose, and Throat, and the National Institute of Health. According to the National Institute of Health, the cornea is the most commonly transplanted tissue in the body. The study says while these transplants have very high success rates, rejection is also possible. To ensure a healthy transplant, doctors will give patients immunosuppressants to prevent the immune system from attacking healthy cells by mistake.
We know that vaccines stimulate the immune system, which is our theory on why it may put a transplant patient at a slightly higher risk of rejection. But infections also stimulate the immune system, so we have to keep that in mind as well.
Wiley says if a patient has a rejection episode, those are usually treatable. However, if someone gets the flu or COVID infection, you can often end up with a life-threatening illness in certain cases.
So overall, we recommend just getting the vaccine if it's available to you, and looking out for the signs and symptoms of rejection.
Wiley says the signs of rejection include redness, sensitivity to light, decreased vision, and pain. He stresses that anyone could be at risk for cornea rejection even if they are 20 years out from their transplant.
You still have to monitor for rejection. The risk, is once again low, but not zero.
Wiley suggests patients chat with their local ophthalmologist who could prescribe drops called prednisone at the time of your vaccination to even further lower your risk of rejection.
I am a proponent of getting the vaccine and monitoring the transplant very closely.
With your Verify Fact Check, I'm Megan Bragg.
Chances are you know someone who plays Fortnite, or you've taken the battle bus yourself. The game is free to play with the option to buy lots of premium upgrades. Last December, the Federal Trade Commission filed a complaint against Fortnite maker Epic Games, claiming it tricked customers of all ages into making unintended purchases and locked the accounts of customers who disputed the charges. Now, there are claims about a settlement, with many people asking if they're really entitled to get some of their money back. So, let's verify. Is the FTC Fortnite settlement real? Our sources are the FTC and Epic Games. In March, the FTC finalized a settlement with Epic Games. Epic agreed to pay more than $500 million to the FTC. About half the money will go to pay a fine, and the other half will go to partially reimbursing customers who were charged for items they didn't want or whose kids made purchases without the parents' consent between 2017 and 2022. So, yes, the FTC Fortnite settlement is real. The FTC is currently emailing eligible users, and you can also file a claim online at FortniteRefund.com. The deadline to file is January 17th, 2024. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. If you're having neck pain, your body might be telling you that it's time to change a few of your habits. It's time for some joint and muscle support brought to you by Omega XL. So one of the most common causes of neck pain is staring at your phone too long. Fix this by maintaining good posture while you scroll. Next, check your sleeping position. Try to keep your spine straight as often as possible. And don't forget, you need to take some stretch breaks a few times a day. Do one right now, everybody. Omega XL has improved the lives of millions of consumers, supported by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. So call 1-800-726-5185 or visit OmegaXL.com for more information. That's good advice. I got stung by a bee yesterday.
Really? Working in the yard?
No, going to Evergreen, and I know 3 people in the studio who also got stung this weekend. The bees.
They're united
very
like
important.
the whales did a while back.
That's true. That's true. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.